Welcome back to Wrestling Renaissance. This is a run-in. My name is TJ Lee.
And I'm Cole 2K.
And this is a sort of off-the-cuff review of WWE Unreal, which is the Netflix documentary series, the second season of which just aired. We didn't do a review of Season 1, so this is sort of an all-encompassed review of the show, Season 1 and Season 2. They've already confirmed a Season 3 is coming this summer, so it seems to be doing well for them. We've watched all of the episodes, and we've taken lots of notes, or at least I have. I'm not sure what Cole's got, but I've got lots of notes of things to talk about and discuss. And yeah, we're just going to have a conversation. And then we're going to play WrestlePlay, because that's what we do on this show.
All right.
We have fun. So, top level thoughts. Do you like the show?
It's okay. It's not as revealing as I thought it might be. It's definitely not as revealing as it could be. Mm-hmm. I think there's good in it. I think there's bad in it.
Agreed.
A lot of wrestling growing up for me was seeing the characters, was believing that the characters were really who they were. Mm-hmm. Like thinking that Roddy Piper was really this crazy guy who got in fights with everybody. Mm-hmm. It was, well, I mean, Ric Flair. Ric Flair was Ric Flair everywhere.
Yes, that's true.
Thinking that Abdullah the Butcher was really some crazy guy from the Sudan. That
Undertaker was really dead.
Yeah, the Undertaker was really dead. But like Abdullah the Butcher, where I went to college, not far from there, that's where his barbecue restaurant was.
Oh, really?
So to go there and see him
cooking
in real life, cooking meat, selling barbecue, when all this time I thought he was some crazy madman from Sudan. So yeah, there's good in it, there's bad in it. You know, you learn about the people. But the bad in it is you learn about the people.
Interesting.
You know, it kind of kills the mystique of, you know, it's not what we think it is. You know, they're just actors of,
kayfabe's dead.
You know, playing a role. Yeah.
Although I wouldn't say kayfabe's dead, they do get kayfabe to come back every so often. Like we talked about on the show, the Royal Rumble show, the Bloodline stuff. It's like we all know that was all fake, but you got invested in it. Yeah. You believed it because it was really cool, right? But yeah, no, I totally agree. The show's got some ups, some downs. It feels like their attempt to capture more audience from Netflix to be like, this is how it actually is. We're not pretending that it's real. We're showing you behind the scenes so you can understand it more and understand the passion of our talent and how much work goes into the show. But not far enough to the point where the hardcore wrestling fan gets what they want. I got half of what I want out of the show. The half that I like about the show is the real reactions from the people. I do like that. I do like when they humanize. You know, it makes them feel more personable, more real.
Yeah.
What I don't like,
more relatable.
Exactly right. What I don't like is when they. And they've done this a couple of times on the show, which we'll get into the specifics later, but when they supposedly tackle a sensitive issue, but they only step into it, they don't break it wide open. And I'll give details on that as we go through the specifics, but they kind of just like dip their toe into an issue. And it's like, if you're going to do that, if you're going to tease that you're talking about X, Y, and Z, then you got to talk about X, Y, and Z. Don't dip your toe in and then be like, nah, we're good. We're not gonna go that deep into it, you know. But we'll get into the specifics of what I mean by that as we go through.
I think I probably know what you're talking about. There's
two things that happened.
Yeah, I mean,
for me
we can. Yeah,
that they didn't go deep enough on, and then there's one thing that to me shouldn't have been on the show, but we'll get to that. So let's just start chatting here. Let's start going through my notes here. First of all, Triple H is all over this thing. The more I see of this, the more I start to believe people like Stevie Richards, I guess, who says that this guy's just completely full of himself and just wants to be the face of the company, basically, even though he's not a talent anymore. He's just all over this show, which I understand that he's going to be in this show because he's head of creative. But maybe,
if not him, then who?
Yeah, and that could be the problem. There's also a lot of him. How do I say this? He may have reached a point where he's a little too comfortable with the ladies. There's a lot of hugging, a lot of closeness in there, and I'm like 80% sure, 90% sure that it's more of a mentor student,
I think so,
relationship. I don't think there's anything necessarily going on, but there was a couple of points where I saw some what I deemed as uncomfortable looks from a couple of the female wrestlers. And then there's also parts where like Io jumps into his arms at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, a little too. I mean, Io sounds like a wonderful human being, and I'm sure she is. But
I mean, you see how she is like on TV
She's
with
cute.
Rhea, jumping up in your arms like that. The way she gets all excited, I think, that's maybe. They say wrestling, the best characters are the ones that are just themselves turned up to a higher volume, right?
Yeah.
I think Io is the same, but she's just not turned up as high a volume. I think that's closer to how she is in real life.
Yeah, I agree.
She might turn it up a little bit for the camera, but she genuinely seems like that kind of a kind person and good person that she gets so excited like that.
For sure.
To her, that's not uncomfortable and doesn't really mean much.
But to everyone else who's watching it might be like, that might be a professional line that you don't cross.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it came off to me. I was like, Triple H would like bring Rhea in a couple of times and have like a heart-to-heart discussion. And there was definitely a few moments where I felt like Rhea was like, okay, you can let me go now. Like she had this look of like, awkward. Like I don't need to be this close to you. I appreciate your words, but I don't think I need to be, that close to you. She might be fine with it. I don't know. I'm not her, but I would say she looked uncomfortable with it. So just something I noticed. Little. I think the problem, and I don't think I mean, who knows? Maybe this is another Vince McMahon situation where all the women are like, this guy, But maybe it's not. Maybe it's completely innocent and everyone's really enjoying their relationship with him. But I think he probably went too far in the opposite direction of Vince, because he was very clear about it when he took over, that he was like, I want a good relationship with the talent. I want to be able to talk to them and they not feel judged and not feel down on themselves when they make a mistake. I want to be able to bring them up. I want to have a good relationship with them, right? But I think he went maybe too far in that direction, and you have to kind of like pull it back a little bit. Like, you're still the boss, so it's a fine line. I had no idea that Billy Kidman was the timekeeper backstage. That's cool. I thought he was a producer, but I guess he's timekeeper, which might be classified as a type of producer.
I didn't realize what all he did.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't recognize him.
He was, like you said, I knew he was. No, he
looks way different.
He's
Got like a full beard and short hair. And
he would not be a cruiserweight.
No. He's big dude now. Big dude. Speaking of the timekeeper, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins on the Raw Netflix debut went long, quite long.
Yeah.
And was it Bruce Pritchard? Not happy about it. He said something with Chris Parks. Yeah, he seems very nervous to be in the position that he's in. It could just be that he just wants to make sure that he's doing a good job. And he seems like he's doing a good job. He seems like he's passionate about it.
Oh, yeah.
Do we know if he's still there now? I think he is, right?
Well, he was in season 2. I assume he still is.
That's right, yeah. Bruce confirmed that while people think that because they're on Netflix, they don't have a time limit, apparently they do. I don't know why that would be.
I think it's more kind of a self-imposed.
Yeah, you think it's more like we should be done by this time, which is really strange because it's like 2.5 hours they usually end at.
Yeah, I mean it's been 13 months that it's been on. They've pretty much all been, with a few exceptions, they've been right around 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it usually ends at 10:30
each time. Yeah.
Weird. Maybe it's because it has less commercials than SmackDown. So SmackDown's 3 hours.
Does it though?
Because it has commercials. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird though. Right? Like 2.5 hours. It seems like an odd time to stop a show.
I think they've done research that maybe they've done research that
people drop off after
2 is too short, 3 is too long.
Could be.
And that 2.5 is kind of right in that sweet spot.
Yeah. My next
but
note.
I always say, whether it's 2 hours or 3 hours, if it's good, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
If it's not, then I don't care to watch it. 2 hours can be too long or it can be too short.
Agreed. 100%.
Just depends on how good it is.
Mm-hmm. Just a quick note here that I made when they were doing some of the Kevin Owens coverage. Before he got injured, he looked like he was in the best shape of his career, man. He looked so good. Because you got to remember, I had been watching the Royal Rumbles to do research for that trivia recently, and seeing him up close and personal with the Unreal series just before he left, I was like, holy shit, he lost a lot of weight. He was looking good, man. It sucks so bad that he got injured when he did, man.
Yep.
I feel so bad for him. I hope he comes back, man. All right, this is the first big thing for us to talk about, and that is the early WrestleMania 41 card was on the board behind Triple H and Bruce and everybody in the, quote, writer's room. And this is what it said. So they had the main event as Cody and Cena, which did happen.
Yeah.
Punk versus Gunther, which didn't happen until SummerSlam. Ripley versus Belair, which got turned into a triple threat with EO. Orton
because
I think it was wasn't it because she was like getting excited or getting popular? Like they were like, oh man.
Well, Rhea lost the title, I think, at Raw. At the first Raw.
To EO. Yeah.
To EO. And then somehow she got put in the match to make it a triple threat.
Okay. Weird. Yeah, so something changed drastically there. Orton versus KO. We know that didn't happen because KO got hurt. That sucks.
But that's what it was going to be.
That's what it was going to be. Yeah.
Up until the week or two before.
Yeah, and then it turned into Orton and
say his name, and he will appear.
What is his name? My mind's blanking. Joe Hendry.
I'm not going to say it. Where is he?
I don't know. I don't see him. I'm gonna get a little like cutout plastic laminated thing and just like have them be like,
No, nice.
Wyatt's versus Judgment Day. Not only did that match never happen, but that feud never happened. That just never.
That never happened.
It was never even teased, let alone happened. Weird. Cargill versus Jax was also on the card. That never happened.
We had
Cargill
versus Naomi.
Right. Yeah. The Cargill Jax I don't think ever happened at all. They may have feuded a little bit, maybe, but I don't think they ever had a match. I could be wrong.
Later on, I think that was the whole Tiffany and Jade and Nia, where they were having matches back and forth. The three of them.
Styles versus Logan. That did happen. This one's funny.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio versus Bad Bunny. That never happened.
Nope.
I think we got something better, though. We got the Fatal 4-Way where he won the Intercontinental title. I thought that was better. A better idea.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker versus Drew McIntyre. That didn't happen. I don't remember.
No, it did not.
What did they do at WrestleMania? Did they do anything?
Braun lost the IC title in the 4-Way.
Oh, right. And Drew just wasn't. He had to have been booked. What did Drew do? Trying to think.
Last year, right?
Yeah, 41.
Priest in the Sin City street fight.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And then they had Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable, which technically occurred. It just occurred as Rey Fenix versus Americano. Because Rey got hurt and Chad Gable had we won't talk about it. And then
where is Chad Gable? Is he still hurt?
I didn't want to talk about it. Damn it. And then we had 2 6-man ladder matches, one on each night. Intercontinental and US ladder match. Intercontinental was Jay, Priest, Sammy, Sheamus, Kaiser, and Bronson Reed. And the US ladder match was LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, Andrade, Solo, Escobar, Carmelo, and Nakamura.
Oh, that would have been.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. So the IC got changed to the Fatal 4-Way, and I don't think the US title was defended.
I don't think so.
So what replaced the US ladder match? And the Wyatt's Judgment Day match? Because those just didn't happen at all. And the Bunny Dom
card
match.
You had.
Yeah, run down the card for me. What do we end up with?
Jay versus Gunther for the world title.
Oh, so that replaced Punk and Gunther. Okay. Oh, we had Punk, Roman, and Seth.
Yeah, you had Punk, Roman, and Seth.
So that's one of the replacements.
Jacob defeated the champion LA Knight for the US title.
Oh yeah, that garbage cage match. That's right.
No, it was just a singles match. The cage match was Jacob and Solo at SummerSlam.
Oh right, okay.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Jade Naomi. The Raw Tag Team titles, New Day against the War Raiders, because they were both sporting, or at least the New Day was sporting a video game.
Oh yeah,
inspired gear.
That terrible tag match that no one cared about. That's right.
Yeah. Tiffany versus Charlotte. That was for the title. I don't know if that when they had that that was probably when Nia was still champion, because Tiffany won it from Nia when she cashed in. when she cashed in her Money in the Bank.
No, she was champion. Tiffany was champion.
No, when they wrote that on the board when they were discussing that.
Yeah. I got you.
So yeah, night one was Jay and Gunther, the Raw Tag Team title match. Jade and Naomi, Jacob and LA Knight, U.S. title, Americano versus Phoenix, Stratton versus Flair, and the triple threat, Seth, Roman, Punk.
I definitely think I would have preferred these ladder matches over the tag team match. And we had Becky and Lyra versus
Liv and Raquel.
I guess
that was night two. Logan AJ, which was on there. Orton versus Joe Hendry. Of course, Hendry replaced Owens. The four-way, Dominic versus the champion Braun, Finn, and Penta. Dominic won that for the IC title. Drew versus Priest. Io, Bianca, Rhea for the women's world title. And then Cena versus Rhodes.
Right. Yeah, I think this card was not as good. So I think they made the right choice, but I still think there should have been a ladder match at Mania. I think there should just always be a ladder match at Mania. That's like a 6-man, just to, just to fit some people on the card and have a good spot fest. So that's that. Did not anticipate the amount of F shots that happened on this show. It feels like every third word is an F shot. These people love swearing.
They do.
What else we got here? Chelsea Green saved her Face's outfit, so that dress that she had her face plastered all over it. She had it for a long time. She was saving it for when she won the title. Or won a title. Thought that was funny. This one was interesting. So, plans for the Elimination Chamber were all over the place. The one where Cena turned heel. Originally, before they even thought about turning anybody heel, the original plan was for The Rock to call out Kevin Owens after Cody Rhodes said, "Go fuck yourself," and give Kevin Owens an impromptu title match right there with Cody, who wins. But then KO got injured, so they had to shift. So then they shifted to Cody accepting the offer. And then someone suggested, I think it was Bruce Pritchard suggested.
Bruce, I think.
Yeah, why not Cena? So I thought that was interesting. I think I would have, honestly, at the end of the day, knowing what we know now, preferred the original thing of just Kevin Owens coming out and winning the title. I think that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he would have ended up getting his world title that he never got. Well, no, he did. He got the Universal title.
Yeah, but he deserved an actual world title shot, for sure. So CM Punk at WrestleMania 41 was originally scheduled to go over in the triple threat, with the same thing happening that actually happened with Paul Heyman turning on Roman and CM Punk, but CM Punk would thwart it. But then they changed it and said, if we're going to shift Heyman to Seth, it's got to have a payoff of him winning. Otherwise, it won't have the impact that we're looking for. Yeah, so they changed it. CM Punk was extremely emotional on that night. He really did believe in his heart that he was main eventing WrestleMania, which, good for him. I still don't think it's main eventing, It's like main event B, It's not quite main eventing. But, clearly it meant a lot to him because he was having trouble keeping it together.
He'll get it this year, I think.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the actual main event this year. Now here's the part where I mentioned earlier that I did not like. And that is when Becky returned and took Bayley's place at WrestleMania. They had no real explanation for why they did that and why they took that spot away from Bayley. They were just like, oh, 2 Irish girls, and we'll have Becky turn heel after the show. Like, you couldn't have come up with anything better than just taking away someone else's spot. Even Becky had a problem with it. They showed her backstage talking to Trish, being like, I think they're going to boo me because I'm taking Bayley's spot. This shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't boo her. They did cheer. But that's still super unfair to Bayley. I can't believe. And then they didn't really interview Bayley. They did, but they didn't. She was basically like,
no.
Yeah, it was hard and, kind of sucks, but I'm just happy
for what you do.
Yeah, it's what you do, and I'm happy for Lyra. And they said that Lyra tearing up at ringside when Becky came out was because she was such a big fan of Becky when she was younger. But was it that, or was it because she was sad that Bayley wasn't there? Because she had been working with her for so long at that point.
I think both.
Yeah. So that's,
in season 2, they went into detail about Lyra training and learning from Becky.
Yeah.
So I think there was definitely both.
Some history for sure. So yeah, I didn't like that part. I was like, guys could have gone into a little bit more depth there. We didn't get any explanation whatsoever from Triple H on that. Not even an interview asking him and him dodging the question. It was just, they just didn't ask. And I was like, okay. That's kind of what I was looking for, was an explanation as to why you would cut out somebody last minute from WrestleMania. But okay. Becky talking about Lyra and how confident Becky was that they were going to be able to get Lyra over. You should have checked that a little bit, because you failed. And that was before even her SummerSlam match, where everything got fucked up, which we'll get to in a bit.
Yeah.
So, your confidence was not founded, my friend, which I will get into more in a little bit here. They did a little spot about the Pat McAfee. Is that how you say his name? I always say Pat McAfee. Is it Pat McAfee?
McAfee.
Pat McAfee. McAfee.
Yes.
Jesus. Pat McAfee. They showed that segment where Gunther tried to bully Michael Cole, and they got a huge pop when a gasp from the crowd and a pop when Pat defended Cole, which was great stuff. It's been a long time since you've seen the announcers get bullied by a heel, so I actually really liked that segment. But what was interesting though was that Pat was not told until it was happening that he needed to keep selling, because the cameras were gonna follow him all the way backstage. So Triple H is on the mic talking to people that were out there going, somebody tell him he needs to keep selling until we get behind the door in the back. And he's like, I don't see anyone telling him. Somebody tell him, because if he gets behind the curtain and stops selling immediately, we're screwed. Thought that was funny. I'm like, you guys should probably talk about this a little bit more before you do it. I mean, I like the whole being able to pivot, but like, have a plan, guys.
So I think, like, when they're during the matches, like when the producer's talking in the microphone, I think they kind of play up, or maybe they don't, I don't know, how much the producer actually talks into the microphone to the ref. It's like, all right, now they're going to do this. Now they're going to do that. Make sure they do this. Make sure they do that. Mm-hmm. Seems like he's constantly talking to the ref.
How annoying.
I don't know if they play that up. I don't know if they play that up for the cameras or if they really do just constantly talk like that during matches.
So they may not be talking to the ref specifically the whole time. They, because there was a part in the show where they were talking about how they were talking to the back. They were talking to the production team to be like, all right, this is what's going to happen next. So keep your camera on, so and so. So that way they know what's coming. So I don't think they're talking to the ref the whole time. I saw, if you look at like the producer's monitor, right below the monitor, there's a switchboard, and I think they can switch between certain people. So they can switch between the ref and the production team and maybe medics. Who knows? I think Triple H has the same switchboard and Bruce.
Yeah.
So it might not be that they're talking to the ref the whole time. It might be. And I didn't realize that the refs do have the ability to talk back now. They never used to. They used to just be hearing it, not being able to reply. But now they have like a little switchboard. So anytime you see the ref, I liked that they showed that anytime you see the ref going back like that they're basically turning on their mic and saying something to the back and then turning it off. Like, yeah, he's okay. He's good.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of cool. I did like that kind of stuff. I like that behind the stage production stuff. That's cool. Next up was Becky and Lyra at SummerSlam during that horrible match. I liked that they showed this because it humanized them. What I didn't like was that they didn't go into what happened, because they fucked up more than I ever would have thought they fucked up. They went over 10 minutes long on their match. How do you go over 10 minutes long? How do you do that? Like,
how long was the match?
Yeah, good question. I remember it feeling long because it wasn't a good match, but they went over 10 minutes long. Because at one point, Triple H looked over at Bruce and was like, how over are we? And Bruce was like, 10 minutes already. And they're not even like 3/4 of the way done the match.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. So it was supposed to go 15. At best.
So the Cody and Cena match was almost 38 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That was Becky and Lyra was 25 minutes. It was on the same night too. And then the next one after that was just over 16.
Yeah. So there was no reason for it to be 25 minutes. So clearly they did.
Oh, definitely
screw up.
Seems longer than maybe it should have been.
Yeah. And I don't know why that happened. Like, if you look at the match, there wasn't anything that delayed them except for the zip ties thing, where she had to go under the ring to have them cut because she couldn't get them cut. But that only took like 20 seconds max. So like, where'd the other 9 minutes and 40 seconds go? I was like, what happened? Like, what? Like, I was baffled by this. I was like, I want an explanation for what happened, because they interviewed both Lyra and Becky afterwards, and they were clearly both very unhappy with how the match went. But we didn't really get any reasoning from Becky. Lyra did go into a few things that did go wrong, but those things that went wrong didn't extend the match. So I'm like, how did you? 10 minutes is like, that's a match. You went over
a long time
by a match. Like, where'd that time go? So, and then they screwed up a bunch of spots. Lyra said that she just didn't feel like she was in the zone before the match, and it showed, and she was really upset about it. But
Lyra pushed Becky into one of the assistants up against the rail.
The photographer, yeah. That photographer probably got reamed at for not selling. How much you want to bet? Like, what the fuck? He just walked away and just laughed. Yeah, that was bad. And then the zip ties thing where her hand came out and she put it back in. She was hoping the cameras didn't see it, but they did. And Triple H is just like, and so is Seth. Seth's back just like, she put her hand back in the zip tie. And then the chair spot, I guess, failed too. Becky put Lyra in the chair, like she folded it over her chest, basically folded over her head and chest. And Lyra was supposed to push Becky back into the pole, but instead Becky pushed Lyra into the announce table with
into
the
the
chair.
table.
Yeah. It's like, what? It's like they weren't, something didn't click that night, which I understand, it happens, but like the 10 minutes thing is what I'm baffled by. That's a long time, man. Especially when you have the ref telling you, the fuck you guys doing?
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, yeah, so. What else we got here? Road Dogg. We got some Road Dogg things to talk about here. I did not know that he was a really bad drug addict during his Attitude Era days.
Yes, he was. Yep.
Had no clue. He says he was constantly high in the ring and everything. I was like, holy balls, man. That's crazy. And he
all through his DX days, and then went to TNA.
Yeah.
Had the same thing in TNA.
Yeah. Crazy. Had no idea.
Yep.
Also
I do like Road Dogg.
Yeah, I do too.
A lot.
He seems like a genuine guy.
But as a head of creative for SmackDown, not so much.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Did not know that Road Dogg got R-Truth into the WWE. Apparently they're...
That I did not know either.
Yeah, they're best friends. Road Dogg, I guess, saw K-Quick at a house show doing a dark match or some indie show, I can't remember, and was like, hey.
Indeed, in Memphis, yeah. When Road Dogg, on one of the times when he was gone from WWE for being fired. And then came back.
And was able to bring K-Quick with him. Of course, K-Quick was eventually released, but came back as R-Truth eventually. But yeah, they're just really good friends. That being said, though, there was a part where they showed Road Dogg getting upset during a writers' meeting. Getting upset over R-Truth. Like, basically, Triple H was Road Dogg had pitched an idea for R-Truth about cutting his hair. This was prior to when he actually did cut his hair. He ended up cutting his hair at a different time. But Truth was pitching cutting his hair to, I guess, make his character more serious before their match at Saturday night's main event with Cena.
Yeah.
And Triple H was like, why? So he's going to cut his hair and everyone's supposed to think that he's this new R-Truth and Cena's supposed to be scared of him? What does that do? And you know, Road Dogg took offense to it and was, you know, was mad. I thought it felt a little fake. I don't know how real that was. If it was real,
yeah.
I don't know how your head of creative for one of your flagship shows can act like that. It was unprofessional to me, and I was like, dude, you know the idea is stupid. It's a stupid idea.
I guess
he did end up. They did end up letting Truth do the haircutting thing, which Truth told the camera was like, for all of these, like, you know, psychological reasons. And then at the end, he's like, plus, I was going bald. So he wanted to cut it. He wanted to get rid of his hair. And he starts laughing. Thought that was funny.
But look at him now. He's growing it back.
Is he? I haven't seen him on TV.
Last time I saw him on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to keep my eyes out for him. He doesn't really make appearances anymore. They hired him back and then did nothing with him.
Yeah.
So Truth was never actually released.
Nope.
Even though he said he was. Basically what happened is the WWE used a tactic of telling them we're not going to renew your contract because Truth was not coming to the table to fairly renegotiate his contract. And so they used that as a tactic to have him be like, oh, that's where we're at. Okay. And then would have gotten him to talk again. But instead of what he did was he went on social media and posted that he was released, which wasn't technically true because he hadn't officially been released yet. I don't know
when
how
they told him to not come to Raw.
Yeah, they told him not to come to Raw. They're not renewing his contract. I don't know how
They
true
basically
this
just
is
weren't
anymore.
going to use him anymore.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is actual. I think this was a work at this point. After watching that behind the scenes stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it anymore. I think it was planned that way, but I don't know. It's impossible to tell for sure. But it certainly felt like a WWE work to me.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't tell.
You never know.
You never know.
No. That being said, though, when they showed the footage of Truth coming back and Triple H apologizing and saying, "I hope you understand it was just a business decision," blah blah blah, and Truth was like, "Yeah, man." Truth's look was kind of like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Yeah.
He didn't seem to give a shit. All right. So here's where my biggest complaint comes in, and that is with the Naomi return. She talks about how she left with Sasha, but she says, "I don't want to go into it because it's I don't know. She didn't use emotional, the word, but it was basically a lot, and she didn't want to talk about it." And I'm like, then why was this a segment? We didn't learn anything about what happened that we didn't already know.
My theory is I don't think they wanted to, for lack of a better term, shit on Mercedes
Mm.
too much or at all. One, because I don't want to give her much mention because of where she's currently working.
Mm.
Two, I think they'll eventually want her to come back.
Probably.
And I don't think Naomi really wanted to say anything because I think it was Mercedes' idea to do it.
Yeah.
And Naomi
100%.
just kind of dragged her into it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, Jimmy was still working there, her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, at the time, I mean, maybe even now, I don't know. Naomi or Trinity is just not as big a name as Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why there wasn't too much talked about. And because, I mean, honestly, you could only get one side of it. You could only get their side. You couldn't get Vince. You couldn't get Johnny Ace or Laurinaitis or however, whatever you want to call them.
It would have been nice for Naomi to elaborate, though. It would have been nice for them to be able to elaborate. And she could have been like, we left because we were, because she even said, I left because I needed to stand up for myself as Trin. And I'm like, okay, so without talking about Sasha, what was it? What were the things? What pissed you off?
Yeah.
They what's the word I'm looking for? Not referred to. They sort of suggested that it had something to do with I guess like a 6-woman battle royal type free for all match on Raw that was scheduled.
Yeah, basically an eliminator match where the winner was going to get a title shot.
Right, and they were both in it, and they were like, "We're the tag champs. Why are we in it?" I get that, but that couldn't have been the only thing that set them off. There must have been something else going on that did that. And I'm like, you could have elaborated. You could have told us more about that. So I felt like that segment was kind of like a tease that just didn't pay off. And maybe their thought is they'll go into it if Sasha returns. Maybe that's the idea. I don't know. But I wanted to know more. I thought it was not covered enough. So that's it. Penta. He seems super happy in WWE.
Very much. Yep.
And he seems super suited for WWE, which I would never have thought so with what the stuff that he did in AEW, but he seems like he's bred for WWE life. So props to Penta.
He really does. Well, where's that? That was. Oh yeah, I mean the main notes I put on that was just it was a great spotlight on Penta.
Yeah. I think Paul Heyman was on record as saying he thinks that they have something special with Penta. So,
yeah,
it's high praise.
I did take notes when they were talking about the whole Naomi thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Uso's funny as hell. I love Jimmy.
Yeah, he's great.
Jimmy's great.
Yeah, he's super funny.
The better Uso to me.
Yeah, when he was talking about cooking, he was like,
yeah,
when I'm cooking, we eat. When Naomi cooks, we get by. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Jimmy could be a bigger star than he is. They could use him better. This was a big one. We kind of talked about it, you and me, a little bit, but LA Knight messed up the end of the Money in the Bank match that year. It was supposed to be him and Seth Rollins at the top of the ladder battling for the briefcase, and then Seth would ultimately prevail. But LA Knight seems to have forgotten the finish, and so he like slowly made his way into the ring, pulled Seth down off the ladder, and then it just was like
knocked him off of it, knocked the ladder down.
Yeah, just some chicanery.
Seth ended up having to go up by himself.
Yeah. And Triple H was not happy with him. And you and I were talking about this because we were like, I wonder if this is why he hasn't been given the ball. Maybe this isn't the first time that he's forgotten a finish or screwed something up. Maybe they feel like they can't count on him to deliver all the time, and that's why he's stuck at this glass ceiling.
Yeah.
It just seems interesting that they highlighted that to me, where I'm like, I wonder if they highlighted it on purpose so that he sees it and goes, okay, they're getting annoyed with me. You know?
And then they used him, the Seth angle at Saturday Night's Main Event a few months later. That was in the last episode with the whole injury thing. Mm-hmm. They still trusted him enough to let him know what was going on.
That's true, right? That's true.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a juxtaposition there. I don't know, but maybe you're right. Maybe this was just a one-time thing, and he hasn't screwed up before. But it's interesting that they highlighted it. Just a couple of last notes here. They did I don't know which show it was. I think it was a Saudi show. And they showed everybody backstage, and as the show is starting, someone yells out "Pyro," and everyone plugs their ears, except for all the people that have been there for a very long time, because they're probably already deaf.
Yeah,
like Bruce Pritchard didn't do anything. Michael Hayes didn't do anything. All the younger people did, and I thought that was funny. And then my only other complaint is I wasn't a fan of having so much time devoted to Jelly Roll. Nothing against him. Cool guy, seems down to earth, seems like a legit good dude, passionate about what he's doing, and congratulations on losing 200 pounds of weight. That's crazy. Or 300 pounds of weight, whatever it was. Huge deal. But that's not what this show is really about to me. It should be about the wrestlers.
That could be like how they used to do the 24/7 or Jelly Roll 365, whatever.
Yeah,
it goes from one year to the next.
Yeah, I thought that it could have been its own special rather than being a part of Unreal. I was like, there's
because it was a year before or something like that when he was in the ring and gave Theory that choke slam.
Mm-hmm.
And then Randy and someone else had to basically help him up.
Yeah, it was I don't remember who it was, but yeah, they had to help him up because he was so large. He was like 550 pounds or something like that, and that was his turning point where he was like, man, I it takes two men to get me off my ass. I need to lose the weight. So good for him. But
another note that stood out to me when they were talking about Chelsea was I think it was Hayes mentioning that basically her ceiling in the company will always be one that helps push everybody up to the top. That she'll never be the top. She'll never be at that level. She's the one that helps people get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems like a slight at her, but if you ask her, she's okay with that.
And I don't necessarily think it's true either. I think they will one day give her props by giving her the title, even if it's just for like a Jey Uso type run.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she knows that's might be.
That's her role.
I'm sure she knows that she's not among the best in the ring.
Mm-hmm. She's fine.
She's decent on the mic, but she's the person that she doesn't mind going. Doesn't mind going out and losing every match.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that's happy being on TV because she knows that she can make her minutes entertaining.
100%. Yeah, she's comfortable with her
but
role.
A lot of people see that as a slight to her, but she doesn't.
I don't see it as a slight at all. It's exactly what she's good at.
Yeah.
You use people. One of the worst things you can experience in any employment is not being utilized to your potential and where you should be seated within a company, right? Because you sit there and you go, I could be doing this, that, and that 10 times better than that person. Why am I not in that position? And that's just the worst feeling in the world. So the fact that she knows that she's in the best position for her, it's a good feeling. Whether or not that will change over the years and eventually she gets hungry, we'll see. But she's living her best life, as she put it. So,
and now it's even better because she's working with her husband.
Yeah. She did talk a few times about having kids, and she was like, I don't want to ruin this run that I'm on. I was like, it's a tough decision to make, especially now that Daddy's there.
Especially when he's looking at if she waits much longer, she gets into the fair or not the category of high risk pregnancies at 35.
Yeah.
She's just about to turn 35.
Yep. Time's ticking.
Yep.
I think that's basically all I had. I enjoyed the Cena and Cody stuff, but there wasn't anything revealed in those things that we didn't already know. It was just kind of cool to see their reactions behind the scene. It was cool to see Cody be given the Rolex from Triple H. It was cool to see Cena come back and be like, I gave it all I got. And Triple H is like, I think he gave it all he got, but he could probably go for another couple of years. I think he's down on himself that he's, he thinks he's given everything he's got, but I think he's got a lot left in the tank, and he just doesn't want to get to a point where he doesn't have anything left in the tank. So he's convinced himself that he's there.
He's not as big as he used to be.
No, he's definitely not as big.
48, so his body looks like it's aging.
Mm-hmm.
He can't really tan because of his melanoma that he's had.
Yeah, he's very white.
Hair. His hair too, so
he fixed that problem.
he's fixing that problem.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we didn't talk about the whole Seth injury deal, which took up a lot of the last episode.
Yeah, I felt like it was mostly stuff we knew, so I didn't really have any specific comments on it. It was cool to see, how deep they went
how it was made, how it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that part for sure.
Yeah.
It was funny seeing Becky say, you know, I didn't realize going into this how much I'd have to lie. You know,
Yeah.
had to lie to people for 3 or 4 weeks.
A lot of his family, a lot of her family, and then the daughter tried to ruin it.
I talked to Miss Joy. You got to pretend, boo boo. Yeah, that was funny.
Like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah.
She's going to ruin it.
But Miss Joy,
there was like 8 people
held
that knew.
her end. Yeah, it was basically
I'm sure
the creative team, Seth.
I'm sure TKO lawyer was on the phone with that school to talk to Miss Joy.
Yeah, if you say anything, bitch, we coming for you. Yeah. Yeah, the only people that knew were the creative team, Seth, Cody,
the
doctors.
Probably just the one doctor would be my guess.
Yeah, probably the head medical guy. LA
Knight.
And
Cody.
No, there was someone else. Oh,
Robert Roode.
Pat McAfee. For some reason. Because Nick Khan,
Bobby Roode.
Nick Khan told him. Yeah, Bobby Roode, the producer. He didn't know until the day of the SummerSlam, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept it from him.
No, I thought LA Knight knew. No, not LA Knight. I thought Bobby knew because Bobby
was he in the meeting?
Of the match.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. Interesting secret to keep.
Yep.
And then Triple H has to get on the line and basically like direct everything after that because the whole production team is just like not clued in to the fact that.
Well, that was the same as season 1 with Cena turning heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he directed the whole thing.
The same thing as that.
He's like, there's going to be. He just goes on the mic and talks to the production team, and he's like, all right, just so you guys know, there's going to be some fuckery. I'm going to take over.
Stay with me.
Just stay with me. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do.
Oh.
Pretty cool stuff. I do like that stuff for sure. Again, I think
the last.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, I think I'm more fascinated with the production behind the scenes stuff than I am like the wrestler behind the scenes stuff. The production is just such a monumental, coordinated effort. It's crazy. So many people involved, from cameramen to the timekeepers to the producers, Trips and Bruce, the wrestlers, the ref, the commentary team, like it's crazy how many people are involved.
The director doing the camera cuts.
Yeah.
Go to camera 1, go to camera 8.
Yeah, I saw I don't know if you saw, but like when they showed the backstage production area, they had all the cameras named after the whoever the cameraman was. And I saw Stu on there. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. There's like eight manned cameras. That's crazy.
And the last thing we see before it talks about the next season is Brock Lesnar. So I'd imagine that's going to be a theme. One of the themes going focuses into the next season.
Yeah, I think it'll be mostly about his return. Probably not a whole lot about why he was gone, though.
Yeah.
Cannot imagine that.
No.
Yeah, so, I like the show. I crave more from it. 5 episodes I don't think is enough for a season. It goes by pretty damn fast.
It does.
And there's definitely been some people not highlighted on the show that I'd like to see highlighted on the show, like Gunther. I'd like to see some more stuff about Gunther. Just less stuff about everyone, like especially Seth. Seth had prominent roles in both seasons, and I'm like, okay, I've had enough of him. Can we talk more about other people?
It'll be interesting to see. In some episodes, I think one in particular, it almost appeared like they were kind of grooming Seth to be the next Triple H.
Oh yeah.
Or at least kind of Seth sees himself as the next Triple H.
Oh yeah. Next creative head for sure.
But it's almost like, especially when they're keying in Cody to what's going to happen with Seth and the injury, that they're going to be grooming him to be the face of the company like that, to run the company like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
So,
co-creative heads.
could we eventually see some kind of a clash between the two? Comes to backstage politics and
when Trips has to bow out.
Yep.
That'll be the biggest day in WWE history. Will be when Triple H has to step away from the reins, because that'll be the biggest shift, I think, in the product. Will be when Triple H is gone.
So I can't imagine it's going to happen the same way as when the last person stepped away.
No. It'll be like a handing over of the reins. It'll be like Triple H has announced his retirement as of blank date. The new COO is being announced as.
What the hell is Shawn Michaels going to say? Look, what the hell am I doing down here in NXT? I'm running things better than he is up there, and they get the job? What the fuck?
I feel like Shawn Michaels will probably be retired before Trips. But
I think Shawn's happy where he's at, not having to travel.
He likes not having to travel, and I think he likes working with the young guys.
Yep.
Although he's very hard to read, that man. He's very stoic in how he talks.
He is.
Very professional.
He's got to be when he's working around young 20-something, absolute gorgeous women like that.
Yes.
Got to be professional.
Got to be professional. Yeah. Anything else you want to add? I will watch season 3.
I mean, each episode's right at an hour. I think it's a good length for the episodes. Probably could be another episode or 2 in each season, but I mean, it's good.
If I could change anything, I would say
it's a good look into it.
I would drop Unreal and just go back to WWE 24/7. I liked those shows.
Yeah,
I was sad when the WWE Network shuttered because we didn't get any more of those.
Well, Network had a bunch of shows that
great stuff
I enjoyed.
Yeah,
they had that Legends House, the old episodes of WWE Confidential, the 24/7s, the WrestleMania 365, or those ones.
Yeah, a lot of documentaries.
They've always made some really good documentaries.
3 at the Table or something like that, where they had 3 random wrestlers just talk.
The Table for 3.
Table for 3. Yeah, that was fun too. Yeah, they had a lot of good content on there. All right. So, should we give it a rating? I give it a 7.
Our scale, 7. Good.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good show. Yeah, could be better.
Doesn't pull it back too far. Definitely leaves a lot to wonder.
Yeah, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, at the end of a wrestling run-in, we play WrestlePlay. So let's do that. Bring up the set. All right. We got our grid. So we got, we got Mexico and AEW, Cruiserweight and AEW Tag Champs, and US Champs and Speed Champs. I don't know what the M is in brackets here. It doesn't tell me. There's an M in brackets.
Men's?
Well, it's got both belts, though. So I don't think it's men's.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. Okay,
Andrade.
See a Speed Champ? Oh, wow. Which one do we use?
Yeah, he was a Speed Champ. Speed Champ.
But which one? Mexico, probably?
Yeah, Mexico.
What? Another Speed Champ. Cruiserweight. There's got to be a million of them. Sol Ruca was, right? Okay, they're not counting Sol Ruca, so maybe it is men's, even though the picture is both.
El Grande Americano. Gable.
Yep. And a Speed Champ that was also a US Champ.
Carmelo?
Nope. I don't know the speed champions.
It's not Jasper Troy. I know he's the current one.
No. Ilya Dragunov. No.
Johnny Gargano?
Nope. Nakamura? Is he ever speed champ? No.
Ricochet. He was the first one.
There we go. Yep. All right. Current AEW that's Mexican cruiserweight and US and or US champ. Well, Mexican. Is it not Hunico? Hechicero?
Sure, Hechicero.
How do you spell that?
Beast Mortos.
There we go. A cruiserweight in AEW. There's like 1,000 cruiserweights in AEW.
Matt Jackson.
Mike Bailey. U.S. champion that's in Cesaro. A Mexican tag champ. Penta.
Penta. Ray Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix. And tag champ that's also a U.S. champion. Pac? Maybe? Or Moxley?
Yeah.
No. Pac? No?
Bobby Lashley. He was the U.S. champion.
Nice. Crush that one.
That one was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, connections. All right. We got Takahashi, Heath Slater, Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, John Cena, Curtis Axel, Mercedes Moné, Liv Morgan, Ishimori, Joe Gacy, Bo Dallas, Naito, Alexa Bliss, CM Punk, Bianca Belair, and something Gato. All right. Well, there's a lot of Japanese people on here that I don't recognize.
I see a bunch of Wyatts.
Yeah, and a bunch of Wyatts.
Oh, wow. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah.
Wyatts.
5 Wyatts.
5?
Yeah, Bliss, 2.
Nah, she doesn't count.
And 4 women. Why not?
Wow, that was the easiest one we've ever done.
We picked a good day to do this. Holy cow.
Jesus. What the hell? That was hard mode? You didn't even get one wrong. All right, ladder. This one's timed. Most pay-per-view wins in 1995? Oof.
Shawn Michaels. Bret Hart. Undertaker.
British Bulldog.
Sid.
No. Diesel?
95. Should be my jam.
Vader? No. Don't even think about 95. Just think 90s.
11. Owen.
Yeah. 4 more. Bam Bam Bigelow? No, he was later.
Ahmed Johnson.
He's not in there. Unless I'm spelling his name wrong, which is possible. No, he's not in there. Ron Simmons? No. Doink. He's not even in there. Okay.
Damn.
Come on, 90s wrestlers. Just name 90s wrestlers.
I mean, Hogan, Savage, but they were all gone by then. Lex Luger, he was gone.
Wow. I'm going to have to do some more 90s
Razor?
trivia.
Yoko?
Savio, Triple H, and Yoko. We missed. Savio Vega was the third most wins? What?
Oh my God.
How did that happen? What the fuck? That's weird. All right. And then finally, our favorite one, Guesser. All right. Start off with a popular wrestler who wins lots of titles.
Seth Rollins.
All right. American from Raw. That's all we got.
Oh, wow.
Younger than 39. American from Raw.
Braun Breaker.
Okay. It is somebody who's not won any and no world titles, no tag titles, but less than 2 singles titles. So
older than 28.
Older than 28, less than 39.
Not a male.
Oh shit!
You missed that. Not
Fuck.
a male.
God damn it. Okay. Could be Ivy Nile.
Raquel.
Okay. No, she's American. Raquel's Mexican, right?
I think she's
won a tag title. So
technically is American.
She's won a tag title. It's not her.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Could be Ivy. Let's go with
Yeah.
Ivy. She's American. It is Ivy. Look at that.
Holy smokes, 3.
Wrecked. Wow. What happened today? We stormed through all of those.
Damn.
That was a destruction derby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Wrestling Renaissance Run-In for this week. If you want to check me out on socials, I'm at TJ-Leo on BlueSky.
I'm at Cole2K on the BlueSky and X.
If you want to email us, you can do so at co.op.podcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and join the Co-op Club Discord community server where you can find myself, Cole2K, Sim31, and so many others talking about wrestling, gaming, and more. And if you're so inclined,
damn trivia champion, old school legend.
Indeed. Patreon.com.
I will get my title back.
If you want to throw us $1 US a month to help support the channel, we greatly appreciate it. Cole.
Yes, sir.
Take us out.
Well, that'll do it for Wrestling Renaissance Run-In. Talked about Unreal Season 1 and 2, where the higher the stakes, or the higher stakes, the messy realities, and how it kept blurring the line between story and truth. Whether you loved it or hated it, it gave us plenty to chew on. Until next time, keep the Renaissance alive.